It's almost April Fool's Day, which is probably one of my favorite times in video games, other than E3, because it's really fun to see all the developers and news outlets get really creative with the things that they're going to try to trick us on. Usually it's stuff we hope is real, and usually it's stuff that we really hope is fake. Following all the different announcements through April Fool's is one of my favorite things to do, so I want to talk about some of my favoriteest April Fool's jokes in the video game industry of all time. My number 7 most favorite April Fool's joke was definitely good enough to make it on the list, but not good enough to be at the very top. And that's why it's number 7, and that's Naughty Dog's rebranding. I think it was back in April Fool's Day in 2014 when Naughty Dog announced that they were going to do a little rebranding of their logo. I don't think this announcement really fooled anybody. I'm pretty sure we all knew it was a joke, but I still loved it. I got a laugh out of it, and I can't see that meme now without thinking about this April Fool's joke from Naughty Dog. Number 6 was an IGN April Fool's joke, I think also in 2014. They had announced that there was going to be a new DLC for Titanfall called Titanfall Prime, featuring everybody's favorite Transformer. He's not my favorite Transformer. I'm more of a Decepticon girl. I've always liked Megatron, so yeah. But still, having a Titanfall Prime DLC for Titanfall totally would have gotten me playing the game again. This was one of the jokes that I had wished was real. My number 5 most favorite April Fool's joke in video games was pretty obvious, I think, to everybody but me. It did take me a few seconds to get the joke, and that was when Blizzard announced a Hearthstone MMO. I thought it sounded awesome. I was like, yeah, this is great.
Step out of the tavern and into Hearthstone, the MMO.
It wasn't until I took a few seconds to think about what a Hearthstone MMO would look like. You know, if you took some of your favorite characters from Hearthstone and you put them in an open world MMO, you would get World of Warcraft. Yeah, I admit it took me a few seconds to get it, but it was a very creative and fun joke, and I had to put it on my list because it did actually fool me. Only for like 5 minutes, but enough that I will always remember that because I thought it was a great idea until I gave it a few seconds of thought, and then I got it. Number 4 has 2 put together, and that was when BioWare announced in their store they were going to have 2 special items. One was going to be a Varric from Dragon Age toupee, which is basically an orange patch of fuzz that you could have been able to put on your chest with his little gold necklace chain thing, and a Garrus from Mass Effect body pillow. I'm not too sure about the toupee. I don't think that I really wish that had been real, but the Garrus body pillow? Hell yeah! Garrus was my best friend in Mass Effect. I love that dude. I would go to the end of the galaxy and back with him. I would totally snuggle a Garrus body pillow. But good one, BioWare. Just make the Garrus body pillow, please. And now for the top 3 of my favorite video game April Fool's jokes. Number 3 was back in 2009, I think, when IGN announced some leaked super secret footage of a really ultra-violent Super Smash Bros. I remember a lot of people freaking out about this, thinking it was real. Part of me kind of wanted it to be real, but then the logical side of me said, yeah, right, this is Nintendo. This is never going to happen. This is not real. And plus, you just kind of got to learn to never believe a single thing anyone tells you or you read on social media for the entire day of April Fool's. Don't, no matter how awesome it looks, no matter how much they promise it's not fake, don't believe them. But still, I think a super violent Super Smash Bros. Would be awesome. We'll never see it, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't be amazing. Number 2, I think, was one of the most well put together April Fool's joke. I mean, these guys really went above and beyond to make something super believable, but also really tongue-in-cheek and funny at the same time. And that was back in 2016 when CD Projekt Red released a video of Roach. If you've played The Witcher at all, you know that Roach was probably the most glitched thing in the game. Well, for this April Fool's joke, CD Projekt Red released a video explaining that no, those weren't glitches, those were totally on purpose.
Turned out the design for Roach was just too good.
And in the video where they explained how all of Roach's glitches were just quirky personality traits, they showed you how they pulled them off to be able to put them in the game.
We recruited bug designers, concept artists, even organized custom mocap sessions.
There's so much about this that I loved. Love the production value of the video. I love the development team got together to make this video. And I love at the same time they're poking fun of themselves and making fun of the glitches in their very own game. I love it. Everything about it I thought was just really well done and a lot of fun, and it was hilarious. And that's why it's my number 2. And now my number 1 most favorite April Fool's joke within video games. This one broke my heart when I realized it wasn't real, because this was way back in, I don't know how long. It was forever ago. It was many, many years ago. This was back before social media and where you got all of your video game news from magazines. Growing up, my favorite magazine, other than Nintendo Power, of course, was EGM. So in the April issue of EGM, they had this little blurb article about this new game coming out, and I was so freaking pumped about it. It wasn't until later, of course, we all found out that it was April Fool's, and that was when EGM announced Mushroom Kingdom Hearts, which was supposed to be a blend of Kingdom Hearts and Mario. How fucking cool would that have been? I was so excited when I read this article. I was like, this game was made for me. Kingdom Hearts is Disney, Mario is Nintendo. I love both of them with all of my heart. This game was made for me. This is going to be my favoriteest game ever. This game is going to shape my life. And then the next issue came out where they exposed what was April Fool's in their last issue, and all of my hopes and dreams were dashed. I was so sad. I'm still so heartbroken that we're never gonna get a Mushroom Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh my god, that would have been so great. But yeah, that will always be my favorite April Fool's joke in video games. I think what made this so great was there wasn't, you know, that instant internet telling you that something is fake. And plus, it's not something that just came out on April Fool's and you could be like, ah, I know what day it is today. Since it was released in a magazine with a bunch of actual news, and you had to wait for the next month issue to come out to then see what was fake or the joke in the past issue, just made things seem so much more, you know, oh, you got me, EGM, you bastards. And you know, that's what we're really missing in April Fool's stuff now, is that kind of sitting on it and letting it simmer until you find out that that was actually the April Fool's joke. Now we just know not to pay attention to anything released on that day. So now I'm looking forward to what everybody's got up their sleeves for this year and what kind of trickery they're going to try to play on us. What are some of you guys' favorite April Fool's jokes within video games? I know there's tons out there that I missed. IGN several years ago did a Legend of Zelda movie trailer that was really good, and I think they did that like back in 2009.
I've been waiting for you, Link. You've been kept safe, guarded by a secret race.
And then of course there was Assassin's Creed Connect. Meow VR, which was supposed to be Cat VR. Skyrim Dragon Shout hoodie from Think Geek. And then Nintendo Dubstep 3D. Like, there's tons of really, really awesome and hilarious April Fool's jokes and video game stuff out there that didn't get to make it to the list, but they're still worthy of mentioning. So yeah, what are some of you guys' favorite April Fool's jokes within video games? And let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I love each and every one of you. And that's not an April Fool's joke.